Greetings from the basement. Live from the basement. Yeah, so here I am with another Reverend. I did a little quick video the other day and it sucked because the sound was terrible. And hopefully this will sound better. I'm not going to really spend a lot of time dicking with trying to get a studio quality sound for these videos because honestly, I'm not in the studio, I'm in my basement. So anyway, here we are, and here's another Reverend. This is a pretty flippin' nice bass. Not sure if I'm going to buy it yet or not, but I did take it in and give it some serious love. So before we go into that, I'll just talk a little bit about the bass. It's a Reverend Justice. It's one of their offshore-made ones, not a U.S.-made instrument, but it is designed. The pickups were designed, the body designed, the whole layout, everything was designed here in the States by Joe Naylor and his crew. And it's a really nice bass. It's kind of a jazz bass on steroids, passive, and a couple of the things that I really like about it. One, the pickups are split rails. You can see that it actually is a humbucker in each one of those two positions. So that's nice because you can turn it back to the bridge pickup and, there's nothing going on there. So it's got a really nice, quiet, but I would say kind of a thicker, more muscular, more muscular jazz bass sound to my ears. And I haven't run it at a gig, and I haven't even run it through my giant Mark bass rig. I'm just running it through this little Fender Rumble 40 practice amp, which actually gets pretty good tones. So anywho, the Justice, it is a 34-inch scale. It's like I said, the two jazz bass-esque pickups. I think these are A, this bass is no longer being made. That's one thing. And B, the jazz pickups from Reverend, I believe, are now called Jazz Bombs, and they're different as well. I think they beefed them up a little bit, overwound them maybe. I'm not sure. I haven't played one of those. And they're using it on the Decision bass, I think, and anything else that's going to have a jazz pickup in it. But they're not, I don't think they're offering this straight jazz clone, if you want to call it that, double jazz pickup setup anymore. Be that as it may, it is passive. It's master volume right here, master tone, and then a pan knob, which is black, and you can barely make it out in this light, but that's what that is right there, the master pickup selection device. It's a pan. It's cool. If it's in the center detent, it gets a little bit of a drop in volume, output, I should say, and I'm sure you could compensate for that if you wanted to, but it actually is kind of a cool effect in and of itself. As soon as you roll it one way or the other, obviously you're getting a little bit more of that pickup that you're rolling it towards, but you're also getting a little boost in the juice. The body is on this one, whoops, that's my fault for almost unplugging it. The body on this one is made of Carina, and it's African white limba. This one's painted front and back. You can see it's strung. You can string it through the body or the bridge if you want. It's got this kind of a funky little thing on it here where it's got 6-bolt neck, but then there's 2 additional little screws there. And that way when you take the neck screws out, the plate doesn't fall off and go all over the place. It's like neck plate retention screws. They don't do that anymore either, interestingly enough. The neck is a 5-piece with maple and walnut. Really nice. Back of the headstock, these are Hipshot licensed tuners, the offshore ones, but they are like the ultra lights, and they're super light. You can see the little signature of the Zach back at the factory who did the setup on it. Of course, I just spent a whole bunch of time resetting it up because Just because it's set up once doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Ask your friendly mechanic about your car. I do like the look of it, though, the unpainted headstock front. It's a really nice maple board on this neck. Black dots, classic, graphite. It's got a 3-string tree, which is really nice. It gets a good, you can probably see how it's really pulling the strings down over the nut, so you get that good break angle, which is really nice. And I did string it through the body. The bridge is the what do they call it? Lockdown. Their proprietary device, and it's, you know, a nice side-to-side lateral stability, but it also has a little black Allen screw on each one of these. So once you have the intonation set and everything, you screw that down and it just locks it down to the bottom of the plate. It's pretty tight, and I think it actually gives a lot more resonance because of that. Yeah, so I got this to check out to see if I wanted to buy it. I still might. I'm not really sure. I wasn't in the market for any other basses because I seem to be out of control. But given the Mercalli being so nice, I was like, I'll take a look at it. It really needed some love, and when I picked it up, the potential seller had a new set of strings that he hadn't gotten around to putting on. I figured, well, the least I can do is, if he's letting me check it out for a few days, I can set it up. So we, that's me, myself, and I, took the strings off. I cleaned the fretboard, which had enough DNA to like give material for 4 forensic file episodes, and polished the frets, which are in really good shape, actually. Tightened all the screws on the hardware. A couple of the pegs were loose and the bushing screws were loose. Tightened those up. Tightened up the collars. Those were also loose. Just, yeah, go over every screw on it to make sure it's tightened down. Adjusted the pickup height. The neck pickup was a little too close and it was overpowering, so I balanced the pickup output. Then the setup, of course, because it's new strings. I mean, you put new strings on, you have to re-intonate. The intonation was off by quite a bit, which could be because it was a different gauge string or different type of string that was on there before, but whatever. They're set up now, and lowered the action, adjusted the truss rod just a little bit. It's got a tiny little bit of relief now. Locked it down, and polished it up a little bit, and it's ready to rock or roll or funk or whatever else you want to do with it. If you run it with the pan in the middle, so this is both pickups, this is this tone all the way up and the volume all the way up. Hopefully this won't sound like shit. I really don't know, but I'm going to just do it anyway. I mean, it's got a nice full classic jazz sort of tone between the two pickups. Very cool. If you roll it back, you get the bridge pickup soloed, and it's got that nice little snap to it. Kill the tone just a little bit. Did you hear that? Can you hear that difference? Right there, capacitance. I don't know what's going on, but it drops, and it drops into this really nice sort of pretty cool. Good tone. If you roll it all the way off on the back pickup, that's probably going to sound like shit, but it's really super woody and kind of right there. I like it. If you roll it to the front pickup, obviously you've got your kind of rounder tone, even with the tone all the way open. tone off just a little bit there. And again, these are brand new strings, and they're steels, so they're bright as all but Jesus. And if you roll it back about a quarter of the way, so now we've got 75% this pickup, 25% the bridge, with the tone all the way up, you get that kind of piano. Yeah, it's really a nice sound. There's some of the overtones. A lot of sustain. And I don't have this amp cranked at all. Actually, I've got it turned way down because I don't want to flatten the little dinky mic out. But that probably did. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty flippin' cool bass. So there you go. It's the Reverend Justice Goldtop. Does have that nice cream binding around it. I think it's got a nice look with the black. The only thing I would probably change about this if I did buy it to keep would be to put, I think it would look amazing with blocks, with black blocks. And they got those little vinyl stickers that go on the fretboards that work great and give you that look without having to luthier the thing up. The neck is so nice. And it plays really well. There's only one. Well, I guess I got it. I did file that one fret because it was a little up at the top, but it sounds like I got it. That's nice. Yep, I got it. Yay! Cool. So there you go. The Reverend Justice. No longer made. I wonder why they did that. Well, they, new models, I guess. And I think from what I heard, it was the lowest selling of all their production models was the Justice. No justice for the Justice, apparently. Much love, but no justice. Well, there you go. Thanks for coming with me on this wild ride.